Good evening, everyone. I hope you don't mind my rosy face. It's because when I take a shower, I have some kind of allergy. Yeah, it's bad. But don't mind, I'm okay, I'm doing fine. It's all the time I take a shower, it happens. Okay, this video will study the present perfect tense, right? It's a favorite one to most of the students because they have to memorize a whole bunch of verbs. It's difficult sometimes, but I must say I was lucky because I had a teacher in high school that made us memorize the whole list of irregular verbs all at once. It was terrible. It was a terrible experience for me as a child. But on the other hand, it made me realize how important these verbs are for the English language, and we must learn them. Okay, so let's get started, shall we? Okay. All right, I have to get used to the scheme of putting my cell phone above the notebook. Yes, I will get used to it. Okay, so what is the past present perfect tense? The present perfect tense is the verb to have or has followed by the main verb in the past participle. The past participle tense is a very important verb tense in English, and most students will have to memorize at least a few of them in order to understand English better. Okay, let's see one example and when we use the present perfect tense. Okay, let's see. I have lived in Brazil since I was born. Okay, I have lived in Brazil since I was born. Have, okay, and lived. But then you say lived is a verb in the simple past, isn't it? No, it's because the verb to live, the simple past of it, you just have to add the D, right? Live, lived. This is the simple past. We have studied it in a previous lesson, a previous video. We talked about it. This is a regular verb. Regular verbs, you remember, don't you, that regular verbs are followed in the simple past by ed. As the verb already ends with e, you just have to add the d in the end of the verb. So it's very simple. In this example, the past participle of this verb is the same as the simple past. Okay, from now on, I will be referring to the past participle as P.P, okay? It's an abbreviation. So, live, lived, lived, right? The past is lived, the past participle is lived. Yeah, and you must ask yourselves, oh, so all the verbs are easy like this to memorize? I just have to add the D? No, you know, it's not like this, right? There are many verbs which have a different verb tenses, and the verb tends to be completely different than the verb in the infinitive form. So let's see some examples of this verb. First, we'll see the grammar aspect of the past perfect. Then we'll learn some situations in which we use the past present perfect, or maybe to use other verb tenses as well. So it's important to differentiate this verb tense from the simple past mainly. And there are many variations of the present perfect tense, which comes as the present perfect continuous, the past perfect continuous. So it's important to learn each day. You learn a little, right? And then you must be able to identify all these verb tenses in a text, in a report, and how to use different verb tenses. You know the verb lose, right? The verb to lose. For example, I lost my keys. I lost my keys. I don't know where I put them. So lost is the simple past, right? Lose, lost. Lost is an irregular verb. It's an irregular verb because you don't add ed as the verb to live, okay? So I have lost my key. So it's different. I have lost my key. Lost, in this case, you have the verb to lose in the infinitive form, lost, the simple past, lost, the past participle. So it's an irregular verb. You can tell from the main verb, it's an irregular one, but it's not so difficult to realize it's an irregular verb. Let's see another verb which is an irregular verb, but have different words for the past and the past participle. Because the previous examples, it's been very easy. Live, lived, lived. Lose, lost, lost. My teacher in high school taught us to write all the verb tenses and to speak them aloud in order to memorize. Oh, it was terrible. Okay. But it was the way I learned. I finally knew by heart all the verb tenses, the irregular verbs, at least the main ones, not all of them. But I have memorized most of them. Let's see when we use the past perfect and the present perfect, sorry. And as we know, we see some situations in which we use the present perfect, we'll see some examples. The present perfect is used when you want to give a new information. You want to give new information about something, to say that something has just happened, okay? For example, let me see. Wow, I've found some money. Okay, it's a new information. Let's suppose you are walking along the street and all of a sudden you look at the ground and you realize, oh my God, there's some money. It's $100 bill or 100 reais. Yeah, I know, reais, the real currency is devalued. Yeah, it's pretty bad. $1 nowadays equals roughly 6 reais. It's terrible. Yeah, I know. When I traveled abroad last year, it was much less expensive than it is now. But anyway, we are not talking about economy. We are talking about a way of giving new information. What is the verb found? And what is I've? I've is the contracted form of I have. I have, okay? And remember, in the simple present, you remember that we studied for he, she, and it. Instead, we put s in the end of the verb in the simple present, right? In that case, the verb have, when we have he, she, or it, you say has. He has, she has, it has. For all the other pronouns, you use have, okay? I have, you have, we have, they have. It's pretty simple. And the structure we have seen, it's I've, okay? I have, I've. He has, his. And then you say, how will I differentiate his from the present perfect tense, from his, from the verb to be, he is? It's different, right? You will see. I will give you some example so that you're capable of differentiating it better. He is very smart. He is very smart. His. What is following the verb to be, the verb here? We have his and very smart. It's an adjective, smart, and it's followed by an adverb of intensity. Very smart. He's not only smart, he's very smart, okay? And his. The present perfect tense is followed by this structure. You have or has, plus another verb in the past participle. And this structure, this sentence, we don't have another verb followed by the s. So it can't be the present perfect. He is very smart means he is very smart, right? Okay, but when I say he's just won the lottery, I want to give a new information, right? I have a friend and, oh my God, how jealous am I? He's just won the lottery. He has. Why is it he has? Because he has and is followed by a verb in the past participle, won. Won. You have the verb to win. The simple past is won. The past participle is won. Win, won, won. So he has just won the lottery, right? Just here is an adverb, but the verb to have is followed by a verb in the past participle, so it can't be the verb to be here. He is. No, it is he has, okay? All right, so we have seen just one situation in which we use the present perfect when you want to introduce or give a new information about something, right? Something that has just happened. Let's see another example. For example, you see you open the window and you see that everything is wet, okay? Wet. Wet, different from, it's the opposite of dry. So, oh my God, the streets are wet. Yes, the streets are wet because it has just rained, or it has rained. It's a new information of something that you have just realized, okay? Rain is a regular verb because it's followed by ed, right? It's the simple past? No, it's not simple past. Is it simple past? No, it's the past participle. Another example, there has been a terrible accident. There has been a terrible accident, okay? You are driving along the road and you see, oh my God, what happened here? You saw a car crash or something that has just happened. There has been a terrible accident here. It's new information, right? It's something that you have just realized that has happened. There has been. Been is the verb to be, right? The simple past of the verb to be, we have already studied, it was or were. And the past participle is been, okay? There has been a terrible accident. It's new information. They have arrested the thieves. It's the same situation. I want to give a new information, and the verb to arrest is regular as well. And we have the structure have plus the main verb followed by ed, but this verb is in the past participle. Okay? All right. So we have finished this section. The next video, we'll see other examples in which we use the present perfect. Bye bye.